Welcome everyone to episode 62 of Raw Sport. My name is Ahmed Al Houli. We're back with another banger of a show. My co-host, Mr. Tony Sheen, joins me. Tony, how are you, buddy? What is going on?
Good morning, Ahmed, on this fantastic Saturday morning, but you could do your intros with a little bit more enthusiasm, mate.
We're saving all the enthusiasm for our guest. Well, today we have a massive guest ahead of a massive show. Mr. Sam Goodman joins us. Sam, welcome to the show, buddy. How you going?
Thanks. Good, mate. Good. Thanks for having us on. Stoked to be on here.
Absolutely, mate. Before we get into all the good stuff, we just want to make a quick shout out to our sponsors. Tony, take it away, brother.
Yes. Now, Sam, we know you're down at Wollongong, so if you need to upgrade with Houdini Plumbing, you can do so now. So ditch your old gas hot water unit and switch to an energy-efficient heat pump. You can save on bills, reduce your carbon footprint, and enjoy reliable hot water. So why choose Houdini Plumbing? Because they are energy efficient, which means up to 70% less energy. They're also eco-friendly, which means lower emissions and a huge cost savings, which means you can slash your bills. Houdini also has expert installers, and it's a fantastic professional service. So if you're in Melbourne, call Houdini Plumbing on 03 9917 5458, or for those like me and Sam who are in New South Wales, get online, houdiniplumbing.com.au.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mr. Tony. Sam, before we get into all the sexy stuff, the boxing stuff, and what's going on in your world, why don't you tell Australia where this journey started for Mr. Sam Goodman?
To be honest, it just started down at Lake Laura PCYC to get a bit fitter for footy, and just one thing led to another. I had my first spar, led to my first fight, and done okay. Ended up winning the Australian title within about a year and a half, and it just took over the football. So I'll put the footy aside and just stuck to boxing really. So yeah, that's really how I got me foot in the door and really started to really try and make a go of it.
Now, Sam, which footy would you be talking about? The aerial ping pong or the stuff you throw backwards?
Yeah, breaking up. I actually can't hear you. Just there. You.
Oh, no, I said
What did
you
say,
just
sorry?
spoke about footy in terms of, are you talking about aerial ping pong or the stuff that you throw backwards?
Nah, the stuff you throw backwards. So yeah, I'm league growing up for me it was.
So what grade did you make for league?
No, I only made up played up to I think 14s. I think I've finished up, so around there. So I was pretty early.
Yeah, okay. And then you moved into boxing professionally at 18?
Yeah, 18, or I think I was 18 turned 19 that year. So, but had my first fight at about I think 11 years age, and so then just got busy with the boxing, and it got too much to be able to play both, and so the boxing just took over.
Wow. Sammy, anybody in your family fight?
Nah, my cousin fought, so I watched him, and that was a bit of a motivating factor for me getting into the sport and starting it up. But besides him, it was just me. So yeah, it was he's from Bega, so he's a fair while away though.
So did you get into boxing because for fitness, or did you like, having scruffs at school or in the backyard? How did that come about?
Well, I think I might have had a few schoolyard scraps as a kid growing up, but as everyone probably does. But nothing really. It was just purely, I think, to get a bit fitter for footy. And I was into me WWE a lot at the time when I was real young. So I was like, I originally was going to start up wrestling, and I dislocated my elbow playing footy in a training session. And my old boy thought, best not to be getting put in like arm locks and stuff when I was just coming back from it. So he goes, like, so I had in my head I was jumping off the fucking top rope and, you know, doing all the bad stuff. I didn't. He's like, mate, wrestling's not like that. And I was like, yeah, whatever, pal. Like, didn't really think too much of it. Thought he knew nothing, but So we ended up choosing boxing over wrestling, and just ended up loving the boxing and stuck with it.
Who are your favourite wrestlers?
John Cena was, that was my era coming through. So I have to say John Cena. I caught a little bit of The Rock and stuff, and I had a heap of him on DVD as well. So I was right into me wrestling, but yeah, I'd say Cena was my favorite growing up.
Okay, now what about in terms of boxing? Who do you model yourself on? Who do you love watching?
I'd say once I started getting into boxing and I was deep in the amateur scene, it was probably Lomachenko. So from about 13, 14, I was, all about watching Lomachenko, and what he'd done at the Olympics and in 2012 was what really got me onto him. But my first, I'd say Mike Tyson was probably my first hero. Him, Roy Jones, as probably most people, and then once your style starts to sort of shine through, you sort of look and you can try and I try and look at a lot of people that I think I can take a bit more from. Like whereas Roy and Mike, they got some special gifts that I think can't almost be taught. So I like I love the Eastern European style of fighting, and guys like Bivol now and stuff like that. I think are fantastic to watch.
What about, did you manage to get to Perth for Lomachenko's fight v Cambosis?
Yeah, I did. So that was something I always wanted to do, was watch him live, and finally got the opportunity to do it. So yeah, we went over there, and Top Rank sorted us out with some good tickets. So it was yeah, it was a real good experience.
Did you get to meet him?
Nah, I didn't get to meet him. So I was an in and out job. We went there that day. We flew out the same day. So we were in and out. It was purely just to watch the fight and watch him live, and then yeah, gap it back home for training camp.
So what did you take out of his fight with Cambosis? Like, did you see some stuff that you wouldn't see on TV? On TV?
No, not really. I just wanted the experience watching the guy live. You don't know how much longer he's got left, and I think on TV you probably get to analyze it a bit more. But it was just a great performance to watch live as well. It was he's a special guy, and to do what he's done in the sport is freakish. So in the space of time he's done it as well. So he's one of the absolute freaks of boxing, and I was just grateful to be able to go and watch him live.
Yeah. Now, Ahmed, we've Sam mentioned Roy Jones Jr., the absolute star of the sport. We've got to send out a shout out to the Jones family, as Roy's son took his life 2 weeks ago. So shout out to the Roy Jones family.
Sorry to hear. Very, very unfortunate. Sammy, you're taking a big risk in this fight. You featured in that all-in commercial, which was very, very well done. Why take this fight ahead of a potential bout with the monster himself, and potentially a huge payday too?
Well, it was already penciled in before his fight with Neary, to be honest, the July date. That's what people aren't sort of really picking up on or noticing. I already had this date, Simon No Limit ready to go. So that was always the idea for us. It was always the idea that we were going to get our shot against the New in December, and I'd either sit out for the rest of the year or take a fight in between, which I've done not just once, but I've done I think another 4 times since I've went mandatory. So it's nothing new. It was just that was all a part of the plan. So when we spent our own money, flew ourselves over to Japan to go and watch Inoue live and put my face out there and shoot for our shot. But yeah, just July into September, doesn't work with I need the biggest training camp of my life going into that fight, and not just the best training camp of my life. I need to be, fresh going into it. And if anything, you get a cut in this fight or anything like that, it hampers your preparation. So I'm not taking a risk with, going into that camp and that preparation half-assed.
Hey, Sam, do you know how you're fighting Wednesday night at Wollongong? How do you pronounce his name?
Choi Warawat.
Do you know much about him?
So I think, yeah, he's highly ranked with the WBC. I think we've almost been up against each other a few times now, and for whatever reason, it hasn't worked out or whatever. But he's been on the radar for a while. He's been highly ranked in the rankings. He's been up and down there. So and he's undefeated. So he's a good guy. You don't get to where he's got to without being a good fighter. And he's quite handy. He can pack a bit of a punch, and he's got some tricks. So look, I've got to be at my best, and like you do with all these fights, especially at this level, you can't afford to slip up, or everyone wants to talk about what's next or what the future holds, but I'm firmly focused on Wednesday night and the fight I've got ahead of me.
Obviously, you would have worked out the strategy for Warrawat. Can you maybe elaborate a little without giving too much away about how you're going to fight Wednesday night?
Look, I don't think I'd try and change too much of what I do well, to be honest. I think people in boxing are too caught up in, you don't see a footy team go out and change the complete way they play from week to week because they're versing the Tigers one week or they're versing Penrith the next. You do what you do well, you work to your strengths, and you make people adjust to you a bit. And look, you've got to make adjustments on the fly and you make them in there, but I like to honestly look at a few things I think that they do well and a few things I don't think they do so well and capitalize on them. So there is things that I think I can definitely capitalize on, but I back my skill set against not just him, against any man in my division. So that's the plan for Wednesday night.
So what are we? 4 days out? How do you feel now?
What was that? Sorry, yeah.
I said you're about 4 days out. You're about 4 days out. How do you feel right now?
No, I'm feeling good. So feeling good. Everything's where I need it to be. Drinking plenty. I'm eating plenty. So there's no problem with weight. The training sessions they're shorter, they're sharper now, so it's all about staying fresh, staying in shape, and just ticking over and keeping the motor ticking. So it's good. I'm feeling fresh and I'm excited. I'm excited to be back down in Wollongong and performing in front of my hometown.
Are there any nerves that are starting to develop?
Nah, nah. Not to be honest, I'm pretty calm with the whole thing. I take it in my stride. It's something I enjoy doing. There's nothing I do better than this, and I love doing it. But the only time you really get a few little butterflies or whatever is probably just right in the change room. But up until then, it's just all you soak it in, you enjoy the experience, and it's second nature to me now. So it's something I've done my whole life, and it's normal. But there's no, yeah, even in the change rooms now, I'm very calm. I know the job I've got to do, and I know I can do it.
Do you like doing the media stuff? I think there was a media day at the gym on Thursday with all the interviews with Fox Sports or Main Event. How did that go?
Yeah, look, it's all right. It's all part of the game, and it's all part of putting yourself out there and promoting the fight. If you don't like doing that sort of stuff, you're probably in the wrong game. I'm not going to say I love it, and it's I think some fighters probably crave a bit more of that media attention and probably like the spotlight sort of stuff more than they like the actual boxing side of things. I think sometimes, but for me,
Anybody come to
it's a
mind?
necessary part of the job.
Yeah, anybody come to
I'll
mind?
leave them out. I could probably start just rattling off names pretty easy, but it's yeah, it's a necessary part of the job, really. I find, and um, something you got to do. So if you don't like doing it, you don't like putting yourself out there. You expect to make no money, no one to watch, and to end up doing fuck all, really. So it's yeah, it's a necessary part of the job, and you just got to take it in your stride and learn to enjoy it. Have a bit of fun with it.
Sammy, are there any added pressures fighting in front of a home crowd?
We there still, boys?
Yeah, mate. All here.
Yeah. Keeps freezing.
Yeah. Are there any added pressures fighting in front of your home crowd?
I couldn't hear what you just said, bro. Just froze. Sorry.
He said, are there any added pressures fighting in front of your home crowd?
No, not really. I don't try and think about all stuff out of my control or yeah, I don't put any extra pressure on that sort of stuff. Really, it's just at the end of the day, it's a fight. Something I do every day, in the gym. So that's all it is for me. The only pressure on me is getting the result, and that's up to me. So that's the only pressure I really put on myself is getting that victory and by any means necessary. So that's fighting. I couldn't care if it was in front of one person in my hometown or 100,000 in my hometown. It's the same sort of feeling for me. There's a result on the line. That's all that matters.
Fair enough. Sammy, I mean, you've been very, very generous with your time. Thank you very much for taking the time, especially in this last week before you go into the fight. Tony, do you have any more questions for Sammy before we wrap things up?
Yeah, Sammy, one more from me, mate. What does celebration look like Wednesday night?
What was that? So I don't know if the internet connection's stuffing up or what it is, but it's all freezing.
I said, what does celebration look like for you Wednesday night?
It's still freezing, mate. I can't hear a word you're saying.
Yeah, I think
we might have to wrap him up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we'll definitely thank Sammy very much for.
I've got you on the left now, but
that's all right, mate. Can you hear us, Sammy?
No, can't hear us.
Unfortunately, he can't hear us. But we'll bring it all to an end anyway. Thank you very much, Sammy.
Man, good luck Wednesday night.
Appreciate you joining us. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Tony.
Boys.
Thank you,
everyone who's tuned in. Take care. We'll catch you all on the next episode.